Hello, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. And this past week, I came across a story that kind of tickled me a little bit, and I thought it might be quite interesting to share it with people who may be unaware. So, in order to find out a little bit more information, we have to hop across the channel and into France. And specifically, we have to cast our gaze on the club of Bordeaux and the goings on and the drama surrounding their primary shirt sponsor of Winamax. Or should I say, ex-primary shirt sponsor, because that contract has been terminated this week. Well, what has happened? So, a bit of backstory. For those of you who are not too keen on following French football, Bordeaux are kind of struggling this season. As of recording, they sit second from bottom in the top division, so quite clearly it has been quite a rough start. And right about now, what you want to do is you want to rally the troops, you want to get all the fans, the players, the coach, the staff, the commercial partners all on the same page in that sort of relegation fight and try and survive towards the end of the season to fight another day. Well, according to Winamax, that's really not what they want to do or how they operate. What they wanted to do and what they have been doing is berating the club on social media at any opportunity they can. So what am I talking about? An example is this image here, which apparently translates something like write a sad 3-word story, where Winamax just simply put the club name, which is pretty harsh, but kind of funny as well, though I'm not sure if you're a Bordeaux fan you'd be too pleased to see that, though at some point maybe you're starting to feel numb to it. They've been doing many of the things. Some stuff I can't post because it's just too inappropriate, or if it's in French, I don't quite know what it is, but I've been reliably informed that they are pretty ruthless. So, after quite a decent amount of time has passed, Bordeaux came out with a statement as if to say, look, we have sense of humour, we understand, but right now, this is not what we expect from our main partner, and what we want to do is terminate the contract effective immediately. I think that's only fair. And what is fair is that Winamax were able to come out and sort of maybe offer their own thoughts, maybe offer an apology. Say, look, we apologise, our actions were not appropriate. No, what they decided to do was double down. So, in response to the announcement from the club, they, to the effect of it, said, we for the last hour have been trying to find a good defence. Similar to Bordeaux, the club, we haven't got one. So they've just literally thought, well, really, who cares now? We're not partnered, so we literally don't have to be holding anything back. And I thought that was absolutely amazing that's just happened. So, yeah, what do you think about that? Do you think that's crazy? Think it's funny? As a Bordeaux fan, if you're watching, what do you think? Apparently, Winamax have history of this. They've done it before. They sponsored certain clubs previously. They sponsored Granada in Spain, and Granada had a particularly rough game against Atletico Madrid, which does happen. Maybe not this season, but usually can happen. They lost 6-1, and in response, Winamax posted this heat map of what they claimed João Felix to have done. Quite clearly, you can see that he doesn't feature too heavily down the wings. I'm not particularly sure what it means, but the club was furious at this release and immediately asked for Winamax to apologise and reconcile what they've just said. Not really sure if anything came of that, but at the end of the season, that contract was also terminated. So, there's a little bit of a moral of the story here, is if your club somehow ends up being sponsored by Winamax, expect to lose a lot of games, because that seems to be the case of what happens. But yeah, it got me thinking about other stories of clubs and sponsors going a bit wrong. I don't know, was it last season or the season before when Spurs announced that Dulux, were now the official paint supplier to Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, which in isolation is kind of crazy anyway. But within minutes of that release, that statement, some fan posted something like, can the dog play in defence? And the actual Dulux account said something to the effect of, probably do a better job, which factually is correct, but not really something you would want to see from your official paint supplier. So that was a bit of a egg on face moment there. And then we had Norwich, of course, this season, or beginning of the season, when they announced partnership with the BK8, another gambling casino weird thing, and they announced it. Very pleased to be partnered. BK8 did their own sort of publicity shots, and I can't post those images because they are similarly indecent. I'm sure you could find them on Google. And then after a bit of an uproar with some of the fans, family values and all that, the club then came out and said, we are going to cancel this sponsorship 3 days after we announced it. So that was didn't really get going before it even started. And then what else do we have? We have, I suppose this season, I think just recently, Blackburn have just cancelled their sponsorship with Recoverite. That one's more of a financial thing. I believe they're not been making the payments that they were agreed upon, so they just had to cancel that. Probably COVID related, I would have thought. And it's not just smaller teams, of course. I think didn't Real Madrid have BenQ as their sponsor, and didn't that go bust or something go wrong there? So it can happen. But yeah, let me know. Can you remember any other sponsors that just didn't really work out? Of course, you've got Newcastle. They had quite a few back to back, didn't they? They had Northern Rock, who went bust. Then they went with Wonga, who was a terrible choice in the first instance. And then I believe Wonga spent so much money trying to revamp their brand, but did it just too late for the new shirt release. So Newcastle played an entire season with the old branding of Wonga. So I thought, oh, what a shame. Could have happened to a better company. But yeah, do you know of anything, maybe something local to where you live, where sponsors had an argument with a club, or there was fallout, or something just didn't quite work? It's always interesting when these small little bits of extra drama appear. It's like, yes, you are having a pretty rubbish season already, but you throw this on the fire and it just like, when it goes wrong, it all goes wrong. Anyway, just a different video, just a little bit of information, bit of light-hearted play. So next video is going to be a good one. It's a throwback to something that I think we all enjoyed last year, and hopefully it goes well, but that's the most I will say on that. So going forward, I hope you guys have a good week ahead. Thank you guys for watching as always, and goodbye.